Hi guys, Nancy here. I just wanted to do a real quick pre-show video to tell y'all that I made several mistakes in this video, and I made the decision ages ago that I was going to leave any mess I made in the video so that you could see me working my way out, because odds are good that you're going to run across that same issue. And if you see that, okay, Nancy did it, this is how she worked herself out of it. I hope that's true, that even leaving the mistakes in is easier. That's why I do it. Well, that, and I'm lazy, and I'm not making any money, so it's like I'd rather make more videos than to try to edit constantly. Anyway, that's it. I'm going to add this to the beginning of the video, and then the real thing will show up next. Okay? Bye. Hi, everybody. Nancy here. Today, I'm going to show you how to create curved text, mainly because someone asked me how to do it, and I do have a video somewhere, but it's easier to just recreate it, and it's probably changed since then anyway. So I'm going to show you how, and I'm only telling you all this because I had to learn it again because it's been that long since I used it. So I've been playing with it for a little while and figured it out. Now, the only thing you need to remember is you have to use the straight line to create curved text. I know, it makes no sense. You're not going to use the text at all. You're going to go to the toolbar or the tools, your workspace tools, and choose straight line. And see, then you can draw a straight line, add a node, and it will. Now, the only reason it did it that easily and there was already text there, I had already written all that, and it keeps the last thing you did. So if I go now, I go back, if I click on the three lines right here next to the trash can, and I go to label, that's where you type your text. So I can add some here. Hit return, and see it shows up on the line. As long as your yellow nodes are yellow, you can do that. It shows up, it's great. But the minute they turn red, then you can't modify without doing apply to it. See, now I can just move that node around and it'll follow it. Now the settings that I did, and this is what I would do first before I get started. I would go to the tools and choose it. Let me go ahead and say this here. You have to have all selected. If you have basic selected, it's not there. There is no straight line under the basic tools. So you have to click on all, and hopefully it'll be there. If it's not, it's because you haven't set it up that way. Honestly, I don't remember what all is chosen when you first get Zoomnotes. But if you go back out here to the main screen, the welcome screen, go to the tools and go to workspaces. And this is my workspace, so I'm going to open that up. And you want to go to tools and features. This is where you tell what to put on that screen. And I happen to have straight line checked as being there. If that wasn't checked, it wouldn't show up. So I have pretty much selected everything. The only thing that isn't selected are a couple of things that I know I'm not ever going to use. So I just don't put them on the workspace. So I do done, and I go back to where I was. And now I know when I open this up, I have straight line there because I have all selected. If you have basic, you're not going to see it. But if you have all, it should be there. Let me tell you what, somehow, I don't know how it happened, but I had basic selected here on this one, and I wanted to cry because I couldn't find properties And it's like, what happened to my property? So if ever you're missing something, check here first. You've got basic. If you click on all, then my properties came back. And the reason there's no properties now is because nothing is selected. But if I click on it and I scroll down, see properties, straight line properties, and I can open that up and I can make changes now. So just remember, you need all the features if you want to do this curved text. Let me show you something else. Curvy text, you have to have that toggled on. And he actually has a video of how to use this feature. So in order to see that video, you go to curvy text, click on the question mark, and it'll tell you so that it'll follow curves. And then you click on the little camera and you can watch how he did it or how he uses it. Okay. So recommendation, when you choose the straight line, before you do anything, before you draw anything, let me delete that because it's already, see how I just selected off of it and it went to red lines? I mean red this. Now if I make modifications, I can make modifications to the line, but if I go to straight line properties, because it's red, now I have to hit apply. Apply is now at the bottom of the menu. And see, you can't see it because, let me make the font smaller. See, you can't see that I've added and at all anywhere until you hit apply. Oh no. See, that's another thing. You got to remember to hit return on your text and then it shows up. Okay, so let me do it again. Here. I'm adding here, there. And if I hit return, it shows up. All right, it shows up over here, but it doesn't show up on your actual text. I have to hit apply for it to show up. All right. Red squares means it's pretty much frozen until, I don't know how to say that. Just know that if you want to modify it, if you want to add another node, I can't add another node to that now. Until I hit off, select it. Let's see. Nope. I think there is a way to do it. It's just, I'm not real sure how to add a node. For me, it's easier to just delete the thing and start over. It is possible. All right, now if I start over now, I go to the menu, make sure I have straight line chosen, and I draw a straight line. See, it's got yellow ends, so now I can add as many nodes as I want. Let's see, let me make the line a little bit shorter so it'll curve. It really isn't hard. It's just remembering what each thing does. Again, yellow, there is no apply down here. I can change the height above the line. It's only when it turns red that then you got to start hitting apply to it. Now, if let's say I come in here, I stepped off, now I touch it, see it's got red, I'm going to have to hit apply. If I go back to the straight line properties, there's an apply down at the bottom. Now, if I wanted to start from scratch, there is no label. And I go out, let me go back here. I'm changing the default. So if I go straight line, get rid of that, return, and I draw a line before I put any text. If I tap on it, I just created the node. Type in the label. There it is. I can still move it. So you want to create it and have your line so that it's got the yellow on the ends. I know I'm saying that wrong, and I apologize. I'm sure that there's a best way to say that, but I can't think of it right now. So I've tapped off of it. If I tap back on it, it's yellow. Now if I tap on it, it's red. If I go back to the feature, to the straight line, it goes back to yellow. Okay. That's how you do it. So if I want to change this text, oh, that's something I didn't teach you. If I select this one, if I look at this, see, I've got the straight, that's how you do it. If the straight line is selected here and it's not active, but you select it with your pen, then you've got the yellow squares. But if I tap off and tap back on, it's got the yellow squares. Now if I tap off and I've just got the selection tool, it's going to be red squares. And I can squish the existing yellow nodes, but I can't add more. Okay. So if I go to straight and I tap, nope. Whew. Sorry. It's because that's the difference. If your selection is highlighted, that's the tool that's active, and you select it, then you're going to have red. If you have this tool selected, the straight line, and you tap it, see, it's yellow. There should be it's my fault, y'all. I apologize. You're learning as I learn. Okay. Another thing I wanted to show y'all is, personally, once I get the text the way I want it, I don't want the line there. So you can't just delete the line. You have to go to the style up at the top left corner and just make the thickness 0 and hit return, and it appears as though it disappeared. Okay, it's not there anymore. See, if I use the select tool, okay. It just would get, I think personally, it would get confusing if you tried to do something now and nothing's changing. All right. So personally, what I would do, if the first thing you do is go ahead and go to these tools, select the straight line, and it brings up the properties screen. Go to label, enter your label, enter the text, or enter the size you want it, the font you want it, how above. It really doesn't matter how far above the line and where it starts if you're going to get rid of it anyway. But if you're leaving the line, see, like this over here, if you want that text to go more center to the line, you'd move it, and you'd move it this way. All right. Oh, I learned that as I went, for sure. I apologize. So now it's done. I select the selection tool. See, it went to red. And if that's the one I want to get rid of the line, I go to straight line properties, go to style, get rid of the 3, make it 0, hit return, and see, because it's still in red, I've got to hit apply. But the text is where it needs to be. Okay. If I want to be able to see it and modify it, I have to have that tool, straight lines, selected. See, now they're yellow, and I can see the 3 modes, but if I go here and add a 4, or something, just something to make it thicker. Now I can see it again, and I can add a note and do whatever. Oh, all right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I confused you guys, but that's how you do it. All right. Have a good one here. Bye.